Hello and welcome to this video. Today I'm actually going to make some little charms for myself out of polymer clay, and I'm gonna cast them into resin. So I started out by making a little sketch of this kind of pigeon dove bird, and I'm just basically rolling out my clay pretty flat to make the wings, and then I'm cutting them out, trying to make them as even as possible, adding like a rough shape of a body, and then it's time to carve. This actually took me multiple tries, so there might be some jumps in there where I didn't film because it was so frustrating to get the wings right and to get the texture of the feathers, because it's just so hard to make feathers. But in the end I think I managed quite decently, and all I basically did is I used a silicone shaper, my hobby knife, and just some old really sturdy brushes to like make some texture, and that worked out really well. Now, while you can watch me sculpt this, I wanted to actually thank you all from the deepest of my heart. When I created this channel, I made it for sharing my experience in my projects. I wanted to share my projects to inspire other people, get inspiration from other people, feedback, ideas, and all that kind of stuff. And by now we have reached over 500 subscribers, which is really surprising to me that 500 people actually actively watch my videos and have subscribed, and I'm just so grateful for you all. So yeah, as I said, from the deepest of my heart, thank you to all the people that are subscribed and are watching and commenting and interacting with the videos. And I'm really happy to hear and see that actually a lot of people use my videos as inspiration to create their own projects in like styles that I made before, or it gives them ideas for other projects they start. And I just love to see it. It definitely is why I created this channel, and I'm happy to see that it worked out. So yeah, thank you to all my subscribers, to all my watchers, to all my long-term watchers especially, and to all those people that comment regularly on my videos. I hugely appreciate it. It makes me so happy to see. Now, in celebration of this, I thought I'd do a kind of a short-term bonus thing where I actually put my Discord link in the description of this video. It will be there for like 1 week. Then I'm gonna take it out. I don't want the Discord to be overcrowded. I want people to naturally find it. But you can share your arts, your crafts, your pictures, your whatever there. And it's also for sharing gaming, maybe hanging out together while gaming and all that kind of stuff. I regularly post projects there, even a lot of projects that I don't put in videos, like personal projects, like my crocheting project and all that. So if you're curious, check in the link down in the description, and hopefully I'll see lots of your personal projects there too. I really love to see other people's projects. I think it's super inspiring, there's lots of ideas, and honestly, one thing I have to say, don't be afraid to be inspired by others. Don't think of it as theft or anything like that. Of course, if you're selling something, it's always a different thing, but if you're making something for yourself, feel free to test your abilities. Of course, support your local artists and maybe artists on Etsy and stuff if you actually have the purchasing power. But if you think, oh, I can make that myself, and you really want to try, do it. There's no shame in actually trying something, even if it's somebody else's idea. On the contrary, it might spark new ideas within you, and you might make it a bit differently, and the outcome might be completely different and a completely new view on this kind of project. And I think it's just great to try things out, and to try things especially for yourself, to see how they work, and how you like them and how well they work for you, because everybody has a different approach to things, everybody has different ideas for things, and I think trying these out and actually sharing them to people is one of the greatest things you can do, because it just inspires other people, inspires yourself, and that is, I think, the best way of going about crafting. And yeah, back to my sculpting actually. Now, I started also to make this raven type bird. I wanted to first make it sit on a branch, but then I was worried about how it would balance when I actually make this into a necklace, because this one I definitely wanted to make into a necklace. So I decided, I'm not gonna make it with a branch. I'm just gonna make a claw. So I tried to like sculpt this. This is super tiny, so it took me quite a while to get right. But with the silicone shaper, a little bit of scissor cutting and all that, it worked out really, really well. I was quite surprised how well it worked. By the way, the modeling mask I'm using here is polymer clay of the Sculpey brand, so this is just a normal Sculpey medium. I love this stuff because it works really well with blending and all that. It's super soft, especially for these kinds of sculptures. When you sculpt on flat surfaces, you don't really need to touch them. So you don't really, move things around with your fingers, indent things, because you have to hold it. You can just freely sculpt, get some really nice blends. I do also like Fimo brand, but for Fimo brand I like it more to use it for like free sculpting, and especially for the colors they have. Fimo brand is great for those kind of things in my opinion, but for these kind of flat sculptures, Sculpey is absolutely amazing. You can get a lot of details in it, you can blend really easily without effort, and it's just so easy to achieve what you want to shape, in my opinion, and from my personal experience. Of course, that may vary to different people. I've seen many people that actually use Sculpey Original to make their sculpts. I cannot work with that stuff. Even after conditioning, it's just way too tough for my hands. So I mainly use it as like a base. Like if I need like a sturdy, even base for something that I can sculpt on, that's why I use Sculpey Original, but I just have such a hard time blending it, getting even blends and all that, getting details into it, and just overall shaping it. So Sculpey Medium is definitely for me the better option. But again, as I said, that's my experience. Now with the sculptor things done, I just put them in the oven, and as you can see, they did get a bit brown. They were a bit more thin, so they obviously baked a bit quicker, but it's like browning of your sculpture. It's really not a problem. And then all I did was I carefully pried them off the edges, loosen them up to get them off. Now I didn't actually have one of those scrapers that probably have been really helpful, but I couldn't find mine. Even just palette knife would have probably worked. But yeah, couldn't find mine, so I had to use this edge of my scissors, which is not the best option, but it worked out in the end. Now to actually seal in some of the cracks, to make sure that there's no like loose bits and all that stuff, and to seal in like some of the smaller recesses so the silicone wouldn't get stuck, I actually applied a layer of high gloss nail polish. Pro tip, you can actually easily do that. And I also tested out before, you can actually put nail polish on molds and pour resin in, and it will release it. So if you have like a matte coat nail polish, you can actually put that into the mold and it should release it. Now I don't know if that counts for all silicones, but I found like most of the Sophie and Toffee silicones work. But I think you have to just try that out. But that's just a neat little tip that I found randomly. I actually tried out two new pigments here. Both of them are these like paste type pigments, more like oil based pigments, from not a new resin shop that I'm trying out, and they worked really well. They're actually matte pigments, so they may not actually look as shiny as the mold looks, but they worked out really, really well. So yeah, just mixed up some 1:1 ratio resin and used these pigments, and they take a little while to mix in, but they're super opaque, especially the white, which I really like, because that means that the white definitely can replace Morandi pigments, because I found you need way more white in Morandi than you actually need black, obviously, because black is more opaque. So this will save me up on Morandi pigments, and this is actually a bit cheaper than them, so I'm happy for that. Now the black is not a true black, it's more of a greyish black because of the matte effect, but I still really, really like it. Yeah, as you can see, the edges aren't that clean, but surprisingly after curing, the peel out really well. There are some slight cleanups I have to do around the edges, like the wings, the head of the pigeon and all that, or stuff, I guess. You know, standard things, but they just take a little bit with a crafty knife and then they're totally fine. But overall, I'm super, super happy with how the details came out and all that. And this was just such an actually easy project to do, to make some really personalized charms. And the raven is my absolute favorite. It turned out super well, and of course in resin the claw actually is a bit more sturdy, but look at all the details and the feathers and the claw detail and the beak and stuff. Of course the back side is a bit plain, but you can see you know, that's kind of in most resin pours, so yeah. I'm gonna cover the back up anyways, or just wear it in a different orientation. As I mentioned before, the raven I wanted to make into a necklace charm, so all I did was I used my hand drill and drilled a hole. On this tiny scale I like to use my hand drill a little bit more, especially for thinner pieces, because there's just more control. Normally I would use my electric one, but yeah, in this case the hand drill was just way more secure to like avoid me piercing through the sides or something. And then all I did was I took one of these gold hooks and glued them in with some actual, this is like metal jewelry glue. I love to use this kind of stuff. It's very sturdy and holds on really well to resin. And then I also used one of the hair clips we got before in the beauty pixie box and put that onto the pigeon. I actually kind of made the measurements to fit one of the pins. As you can see, the wing turned a bit off, so you can kind of see the pin. But in the end it worked out really well and they look so super cute. I'm really happy with them. So yes, as I said, again, a really huge thank you to all the new subscribers I got, to all the long-term subscribers that I got. I hope my videos continue to inspire you. And as I mentioned, the Discord link will be in the description for a week, or maybe 2, depending on how many people will join. And as always, I hope you enjoyed my project. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of these charms, and maybe which kind of charms you always wanted to make but were too afraid to make. And I hope you all have a great day, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye bye!